I'm going to be cutting up some lumber for the wood stove. I need a little bit of extra wood for the winter just to make sure I have enough. So I'm going to be having to use the chainsaw, which means I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson on the chainsaw. The first thing on the chainsaw is safety. If you're like me, my first experience with the chainsaw ever in my life was this spring. That was like, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and I was very intimidated with the chainsaw. It's a more intimidated with chainsaw than I was the table saw, and I was very intimidated with the table saw. So I don't know, there's just something about it that screams gonna cut a limb off, if you know what I mean. So I took my time learning this machine. I had people who had experience with this machine show me the ins and outs to get comfortable with it, why and what things happen. I checked YouTube out, looked up what to expect and how to expect things, and ways to prevent those things. So I'm going to give you a little bit of that insight, but I don't want you to hold that as 100% true. I still want you to do your homework and go look around and get more information, double check and check all the information, and be comfortable yourself before using a tool such as the chainsaw. It's a scary tool, and it should be scary, because it can take off a limb very quickly. Even if it does just happen to cut you, it's going to cut you bad. So take all the precautions you can with the chainsaw. It's not that difficult of a machine to handle. It's a very easy machine to handle. It's not scary in the sense of when you get used to it, understanding this thing, but you need to respect it. If you don't respect the chainsaw, don't pick it up. That's all I can say. So, for the first thing, if it's a cold winter day, get yourself a nice warm beverage. I got myself a cappuccino here. Delicious. First thing is gas is mixed. For this one, it's a 50-to-1 ratio. That means for 50 parts of measurements, any measurement of gasoline, I use 1 part oil, and it's a special oil that I get. The manufacturer, the Husqvarna manufacturer, recommended an oil to use in the gasoline, and if I did that, they would extend my warranty to 3 years, so I went for it for a couple of bucks. Any company that can stand behind their product for 3 years, I'll buy it. I'll pay the extra for it too. So, that's the gasoline, but let's get to safety. First of all, I bought myself some chaps. These are Kevlar, and basically what happens is if the chain hits the Kevlar, or hits it my leg, say the chain comes down, it's on, and hits my leg, it's going to pull the fibers of the Kevlar into the motor in here, gum it up and stop it dead on. So that's why these are safe, and that's why they don't need to be thick. But if you compare that to a pair of jeans where it'll just keep going, you're going to want to purchase and put some money into these. If you don't wear chaps, I'd recommend pants, anything. Just get some cover on there. Also, you should have some steel-toe boots. I don't wear them all the time. If I'm out in the woods, I'll wear them. And as for safety for the chainsaw itself, this mechanism here is the release. So what happens is, I pull it here, it's loose, it's off, the chain can spin. If I push it forward, it blocks the chain. And the reason why this mechanism's like this, and don't use a chainsaw without it, if there's kickback, which is when the chainsaw comes up, it's going to lock the blade. And oh, wow, I'd be happy that I used that, that I had this block here, the safety block, if it were coming this way. But that's another safety tip. If you're cutting the log down, straight down, don't stand in front of it directly like this. You're going to want to always stand to the side, because if it gets kicked back, you want it to come over your shoulder and not at your face. Other things to avoid are touching the wood with the tip here, unless you're experienced. I see some carvers do that, but if you're new, don't touch with the tip, because apparently that is where the most kickback will occur and when it'll occur. Again, you're going to want to get comfortable, start slow, And that's that. That's safety glasses. You're always going to want to wear safety glasses and ear protection. These things are loud. It doesn't take long before your ears start to ring and you're not hearing things as well. What? Yeah, so wear your earplugs. These things are deafening on the ears, especially if you're cutting lumber. I got 8 cord of wood to cut. It's a lot of cutting and a lot of chainsaw action, so I'm going to want to cover my ears. That sums it up for the safety. I'll have another video on how to do maintenance on the machine. I'm also going to have a video on cutting logs for the fire pit, for the fireplace, indoor, my wood stove. Also, leather gloves. Gets a good grip. You want to wear these. And then you have the chainsaw tool, and you can do maintenance on your entire tool with this, which I'll show in another video. So let's get started. I'm going to do some cuts. When I'm done cutting, I'll show you how to clean it and maintain it. Let's go.